Previously and now currently on Kamen Rider Geats, Sussy Edition. See, I tried telling y'all that the most obvious answer is rarely the actual solution in these cases. But I really hope y'all did not have some bets in place regarding who the Deza star is. Otherwise, pay up. It wasn't Daichi. Geats continues at its brand new pace, so let me put away Fire Emblem for a moment so I can talk about this week's Geats and hopefully get this out and done fast enough to keep playing. Keiwa continues to be the odd one out, with everyone currently suspecting him after last week's shenanigans. But Daichi plays it cool and even seemingly gets brownie points for lending Lopo the ninja buckle. What do you mean? I shouldn't even be here right now. Well, you know how in the Dom Bros review, future Zio robbed past Zio, right? But you will tomorrow. Wait. Either way, I'm from the future as well. We weren't kidding when we said that the next Kamen Rider season was completely boring. So we just go back in time via Time Kabuto and do time shenanigans and just kill time that way. You're right. Only I, and I alone, can do this.
Starting things off the right way with that rocket punch, Sparrow gives Lopo the opening to pass that rock over and back over and over again. I didn't know that Power Builder has Iceman abilities, with Geats railing on by and passing it right back. Getting that 2-for-1 combo, but that doesn't last long as Rook Jamato turns out to be a Mega Man clone with that Mega Buster, retaking the lead. But let's widen that gap with not just one more, but 4 more times, with these Jamatos taking the clear lead. How are the Riders gonna manage? With Ace pulling buckles straight out of his ass. Gigan Shooter wasn't a thing, right? Well, be on the lookout for that P-Bandai listing. Time for some ball busting as Geats shoots his load, getting that double penetration action in, tying the game.
It's as I said, who even needs Galaxy Blade? Especially with such fire outfits I be rocking during these commentating bits. It's so good, so good. Alright, back to it. Busting out of Daichi's tent as if to allude that he's the Sussy Baka, the Game Master arrives, revealing that 2 remain in their disaster votes. So don't mess up, or more than just one will be leaving the game. But of course, to add more fuel to that Keiwa fire, he also tells him that someone is calling for him. It's the frog statue Kikera, here to reveal himself. Turns out that from the very beginning, Keiwa's luck has all been due to this guy. And though Keiwa's been doing alright from the beginning, his current game is utter trash. All because someone sure is acting like a Deza star out there. And thus, the seed regarding Daichi has been planted. You know, there's like a good chunk of the map that's still trapped within this game space for like, what now? Like a day or two? You would think that people would be going on to like report it. Nah, they acting as if nothing really is happening, with the major immersion break of vehicles just driving at night all chill like, as Azuma gets some groceries from Ace. Ozma breaks it down that Ace doesn't really understand the game and how the reality of it really is, as the Jamato previously hinted at being Shidori's reincarnation was actually just the image of him that was taken hold by various Jamato, killing that theory folks had about them actually being the players down to the ground. So those other players? Yeah, they're dead and been ate up, as the new breed of Jamato keeps starting to take on more and more human attributes. So, what's Ozma gonna do now? Is he rejoining the game? Get that wish granted? I mean, he's got a new buckle, but not if Niram has anything to say about that and beat the death right back into him, taking him right back to the Jamato forest, because the game would feel cheap if the dead folks just get revived immediately after getting killed off. Because, yeah, that really does cheapen things. Right? Right? Back with the reality show, Sumire reveals that they are doing numbers with higher ratings than before. Turns out the Game Master really controls how the DGP themes its stuff. And Girori's way was kind of bland, but this guy's bringing it back to that 2000s level of viewership. Ace makes it back to the slumber party after talking with Azuma with the intentions of waking everyone else up by cooking up some of that sizzle steak, letting Keiwa know on Azuma's happenings and how the Desastar game should be played, making sure everyone feels a bit guilty about putting it all on Keiwa. Alright, sudden death time, let's go! Let's go! My Galaxy Blade.
What's up, jabroni? See, look, I don't want to hear it. Get the hell out of here as I try to save your damn reviews.
That makes no sense. I have so many questions.
Just get back into your seat. Also, toss that suit into the trash on your way out.
It's not so bad. It's not that bad. The suit's not even that bad. What are you talking about? I spent so much time layering and putting these effects into place and... Wait. Y'all didn't use the footage that I made last week or early... Why? Look, I don't get it. I don't get it. Look, Galaxy Blade is still a card. He came through that portal that, like, my future self showed up in that Don Bros review, but if he's from the future, does that mean that he's been freed in that future? But that also means, is the next writer season really that bad?
We're back with the end-all be-all of the rounds. Sudden death has busted in, and so has the Rook Jamato. Ain't that right, Space Vibes? Oh, we're on that part of the timeline. Okay, well, the bird is indeed proving that it is indeed the word, and beats the balls straight out of not just one, but two Jamato. But, see, Keiwa's gotta protect them kids, but in the process, he's looking pretty sus by not wanting to fight those Jamatos. So here's Ace to prove that the Jamatos are built like Sunrise 2000s animes, with everyone having the same face. Let's now point the finger at Sparrow for making everyone doubt Keiwa. So let's all give Keiwa our collective energies. Getting that ninja power and continuing his streak of breaking and entering, avoiding the roots of it all, and getting all that suck energy from the Jamato, giving us the end of series Broken Helmet action. Now that is a straight 10 out of 10 fire moment. That's normally reserved for the main character in the series. Oh wait. Scoring that goal, the game is set, and so is this time portal.
We're not doing this again next week, are we? Are we? What's that supposed to mean? I'm not even in the confessional. With the game done, now the time to vote has arrived, with everyone being able to swap their votes before the lock. And who gets the boot? Everyone's most sussed out character, Daichi, gets retired. But, as it turns out, he's not the Deza Star. Do I get an I told you so? Because I told y'all! I told y'all! But nah. It's gotta be Daichi. It definitely has to be Daichi. Y'all in the comment section were all about some Daichi. Look. We placing bets. We're placing bets. I'm putting a poll up on this. Y'all be ready. Y'all better be ready. But with Daichi gone, and the Deza Star not caught, it's about time Keiwa got a bit more of a motivational boost and start thinking real.
Rating time.
This episode is alright. It has some set pieces that already feel like copy-paste from previous episodes. I knew that when they eliminated Daichi that he really wasn't the Deza Star, as I speculated before, as it would cheapen things dramatically if he was. But of course, they gotta play up the bit. There are also a few seeds that are planted this episode, but once again, I find myself way more interested in Asuma's story more than the main narrative right now. It's for that reason that this is gonna get the Buffa B! We changing up those visuals because why not? So yeah, I would say that the action of this episode was a bit of a step up from the previous ones, but it still staggered a bit when it came to highlighting Keiwa, as I immediately got flashbacks to his Ninja Buckle debut running through the inside of another building. It was so glaringly similar that it kinda took me out of the scene. Are we already at the point of reused assets from a set piece standpoint in a show that's entire concept is reused assets? We also do get more reaffirmation that the Jamatos are not reincarnated DGP contestants, but they are just born from their ID cores. But with the influx of new ID cores, it seems that the Jamato mutations are starting to become more and more human-like, which fuels my speculation regarding Ace and exactly what he might be. And although the DGP has a lot going on, no one is actively telling Archimetal to not make tougher Jamatos and continue on his lust for world domination. But of course, Niram wouldn't actively want to stop that, since it makes for some great television, which I guess is where the Game Masters really come in. Now that we know the tonal shift of the game was brought upon more so by the Game Master than the game producer, it appears that they really are just acting like the showrunner of the series. So, if Ace does get his wish of being the Game Master, it would fundamentally really change the game. He could make it so the next DGP becomes something like a murder mystery type game in order to have all the contestants help him find the answers that he's looking for. But with Keiwa's wish still being active, would Niram allow his wish to actually be granted? Since he stated in this episode that the dead need to stay dead in order to keep the viewers engrossed in the reality of it all. But then again, let's say that he does get his wish, but Niram decides to flip the script and has all the revived players become mandatory contestants in a real Battle Royale setting. See, there's a lot of possibilities that could happen as we start getting more into Niram's character now. One thing I'm not really enjoying but am a little hesitant on is how active the audience is now being in advising the characters. Now that we know that Kekera has been the reason behind Keiwa's luck before, it kind of weakens his character up till now. But this audience participation really makes it feel like it's giving these characters a clear upper hand. So, what's next? Are they going to reveal that Neon's dad is not the only one cheering her on, but that there's someone else that is giving her support? Thus, she's getting support from multiple fronts, not just from the audience, but also from a sponsor. We'll have to see how the audience properly fits into all of this, and if they're really doing this for the sake of entertainment or for a greater prize. After all, they really are just toying with people's lives out here. Ozma even seems to get his own support next episode, but we really don't know shit about this girl yet, so we'll have to see how that one plays out. But I'm feeling more inclined to think she's either a remnant of the world the Jamados are in, or one of the evolved Jamato. I guess we'll see next week on that one since I haven't looked into it much. Lopo's character Sai is growing closer and closer to Neon these last couple of episodes, but she is playing a bit more of a genuine self that does make her seem not as suspicious when it comes to the Deza Star. But I'm still in the Neon camp on who really is the Deza Star here, because once again, it feels kind of cheap if it is one of these newer characters. So, what did you think about this week's Geats? Y'all being wrong about Daichi, Keiwa getting help Shinobi style, and Ozma quickly becoming the best character in the show. Anyway, that's it for me. Hoping for no more time travelers for next week's Geats, and I will catch you all then. Bye.